In this video, we'll dig into how a VPN works, but also look at how to know whether or not you need one and how to pick one that's right for you. The internet, it can be a scary place. Every day there's a headline about another big data breach, and according to a December 2023 report from Apple and MIT, the number of accounts breached doubled from the first half of 2022 to the first half of 2023. The key conclusion from this report is the importance of end-to-end encryption in protecting user data. So, what is a VPN? A VPN, or virtual private network, improves your privacy and security online by doing two things: encrypting your data and masking your IP addresses. So, how does a VPN do this? Let's start by breaking VPN into the parts that make it up. VPN stands for Virtual Private Network. A VPN is virtual because the connection is entirely digital. There's no physical cable that connects your device to a VPN company's server. A VPN is private because your connection to the internet is encrypted, which means that your location, identity, and traffic can't be seen. We'll talk more about encryption later. Finally, a VPN creates a network between your device and a VPN company's server. So how does a VPN actually do this? A VPN acts as an intermediary between your device and the internet, diverting your traffic from your internet service provider, ISP. When you turn on a VPN, the VPN creates a secure tunnel between your device and its servers, which encrypts your traffic. Encryption takes your readable data and modifies it so that it appears as an unreadable format to anyone who tries to read it. All of this means that when your data hits the internet, it is coming from the VPN server and not from your ISP, so your location and identity are hidden, and your information is protected from ISPs. So how do you know if a VPN is right for you? First things first, not everyone needs a VPN, and even if you have a VPN, you don't need to have it turned on all the time. To know whether or not you need one, it's important to understand the reasons to use a VPN and whether those correspond to your individual needs and circumstances. So let's go through the most powerful use cases for using a VPN. Let's start with security. First, the reality is that a lot of internet traffic is already encrypted by the HTTPS protocol. So the real question to ask is, what incremental security does a VPN provide? According to Google's most recent transparency report, 5% of web traffic on Google Chrome still travels over the unencrypted HTTP rather than the encrypted HTTPS protocol. And for Firefox traffic, this number is 7%. For this traffic, a VPN provides much better security. Even when you're surfing on the HTTPS protocol, a VPN can provide incremental security and privacy. A hacker or your ISP can't see what information you send and receive from an app or website if you use HTTPS, but they can see which websites you visit. But VPNs take privacy an extra step further by also preventing hackers or ISPs from seeing the specific apps or websites you visit. This is called DNS, or domain name system traffic, and encrypting it is an extra layer of security provided by a VPN. Using a VPN is one of the best ways to improve your security posture when you're online. Specifically, the improved security from using a VPN is due to the fact that it encrypts your internet connection, as we discussed earlier. This is especially important if you use public Wi-Fi networks in coffee shops, airports, and hotels, which can be vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks, where hackers try to collect potentially sensitive information like passwords and credit card information you transmit over these networks. Another important privacy consideration is whether your ISPs, internet service providers, track or log your online activity, which could potentially compromise your privacy. Now let's talk about privacy, which is different from security. A VPN is a great way to improve your privacy online because it masks your real IP address, which is a unique identifier given to your computer, smartphone, or other device connected to the internet, like your home street addresses. A VPN does this by routing your traffic away from your ISP and through their own private servers. What does this mean in practical terms? It means that if someone were looking at your activity on the internet, they would see the VPN server's IP address rather than your actual IP address. Hiding your IP address makes a lot of sense if you visit smaller websites where administrators may be more likely to look at their logs, or if you visit websites you don't necessarily trust. Additional privacy tip. One thing to consider to protect your privacy while using a VPN is to use a different browser profile. For example, if you're logged into your Google account while you're using a VPN, that address will be associated with your computer. Accessing geo-restricted streaming content. If you'd like to access your streamed entertainment and sports content when you're away from home, then a VPN can be very useful. It's worth noting here that you should consult the terms of service with your streamer to see what is allowed in your contract. The three criteria that matter the most for a VPN streaming are device compatibility, network speed, and global network distribution. On the topic of device compatibility, both ExpressVPN and NordVPN work with smart TVs on the Android TV OS, the Apple TV OS, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. If you're not sure what OS your TV uses, you should be able to find this within your TV's settings tab. If you work remotely, a VPN can be used to create a secure connection between a remote worker and the company's internal network. This is important because many of the files, applications, and intranet sites employees access on a day-to-day basis include highly sensitive information. A VPN can also encrypt communication for remote workers over voice calls, video conferencing, email, and chat platforms. If you own or work for a small business that doesn't yet use VPNs for remote workers, it could make sense to adopt this technology in your company. Now let's look at a use case where using a VPN may not make sense. If you're in a country that strictly monitors users' online activity, a VPN may not fully protect you. But VPNs in these countries can make sense if you want to communicate with people who use messaging apps that are blocked in that country. If you plan to use a VPN in one of these countries, you should research which would work well in that country and may want to download it before arriving. How do you choose the VPN? That's right for you. If a VPN is right for you, there are a few important differentiators to look at to make sure you get the best experience. Impact on traffic speed. VPN speed is very important to consider if you want to use your VPN for gaming or streaming. When you use a VPN, your web traffic goes through more servers and travels across a longer distance of fiber. This results in increased latency and slower transfer speeds. The most important factor in VPN speed is the distance between you and the VPN server you're connecting to, so you will want a VPN provider with a large network of servers, so you're more likely to be able to find one near you. The NordVPN and ExpressVPN websites allow you to search for the best server for you based on both your location and what you want to use the VPN for. After this, the important things to consider are the load on that server and the quality of encryption. The best VPNs today use the AES 256 encryption protocol. Multiple device connections. If you want to use your VPN across multiple devices like a laptop, cell phone, and tablet, or share your VPN subscription with someone else in your house, make sure to check the number of device connections supported by the VPN plan you're considering. The largest VPN providers allow multiple connections, with ExpressVPN offering 8 simultaneous connections and NordVPN offering 10. Split tunneling. If you only want to route some of your traffic through a VPN, choose one with a split tunneling feature. Online banking, online shopping, and working from home are good examples of traffic you might want to route through your VPN. But online gaming or streaming easily accessible content might make more sense to do through your regular connection. Without a split tunneling feature, you'll have to disable your VPN every time you want to use your standard connection, and you may be exposed to security risks if you forget to enable it at the wrong time. Kill switch. A VPN kill switch provides an extra layer of protection and is a very important feature to have if you buy a VPN. As we mentioned earlier, when you use a VPN, all of your traffic goes through a secure tunnel. If your VPN app disconnects unexpectedly, a kill switch shuts off your device's internet connection so that you don't send any traffic through an unencrypted network. There are 2 important things to consider when comparing VPN kill switches. First, can the VPN be applied to specific applications, which can create a more seamless internet experience with security only applied to your most secure data? Or does it automatically get applied to all internet traffic? ExpressVPN offers a system-level kill switch, while NordVPN offers an application-level kill switch. Second, is the kill switch turned on by default, or will you need to turn it on manually each time you use the VPN? ExpressVPN's kill switch is turned on by default, while NordVPN requires users to turn it on manually. No logs policy. Many of the largest VPNs boast a no logs policy, which means that the company doesn't store any data about a user's online activity, including browsing history, IP addresses, DNS queries, bandwidth usage, and any personal information. Although they can be challenging to verify, ExpressVPN went through 12 independent security audits to support its claims and improve transparency, and NordVPN has also gone through third-party security audits. Headquarters. Another important privacy characteristic to consider with VPNs is the company's headquarters. Look for a VPN that's not headquartered in a country that is part of the Five Eyes, Nine Eyes, or 14 Eyes intelligence sharing communities. ExpressVPN is headquartered in the British Virgin Islands, and NordVPN is headquartered in Panama, so both are outside of these communities. These alliances have the ability to request data from VPN providers and can share it with other member nations.